But the reason I'm bringing up the Kennen that he played earlier is Kennen and Aatrox, both great team fighting top laners. It's very like Nuggery style of playing the game, so I'm excited to see what Demon can bring out on this Aatrox. And also, Gore Drinker exists. Aatrox probably pretty invincible.
Yeah, Aatrox with a Gore Drinker and Ravenous Hydra just heals so damn much. You'd be looking to pick up some very, very early Grievous Wounds on this CMG lineup. But when we look at all said and done, CMG definitely going for more of a teamfight orientated composition where...
I mean, CMG need to come in with tempered expectations. They need to come in with a fresh mindset. They're 0-2 right now, so I'm pretty sure that means that they can't make it out of the group because... well, actually, no. Technically, they can still make it out of the group, but they need to win this game. If BLG wins this game, CMG can no longer make it out of the group. So they've got to take a deep breath. They're on a 2-loss streak, but they can come in strong. Their draft looks fine. They have an insane amount of scaling behind them, so they need to take it slow in the early game and hope to win out in teamfights later on.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm worried about sometimes when I see these teams that are outside of the LPL or the LDL, is that they tend to opt in for a lot of scaling because they tend to play against teams that aren't really sure about how to close out games very quickly, not sure how to abuse these scaling orientated champions, and it is a kind of a safer route to play the game. But unfortunately, like when you're up against these LPL teams and they say, hey, look, you know, we've got winning bot lane, we've got winning top, we got a mid lane that can play very aggressively and try and play a fast-paced game, then you can look to try and play towards this mid game and try and close it out very quickly. But it is BLG, so we'll see. They tend to play a little bit of a slower paced game anyway.
You've used the word quickly there, Dagda, and I don't know if that's going to happen, to be quite honest with you. We have a bit of a level 1 skirmish going on in the river. I'm not 100% sure what the plan is here, but CMG have found themselves outnumbered. Hook onto the wall, flashes galore coming on out, but there's the knock-up coming from Demon, and already grabs himself a kill. That's a pretty good start for BLG.
That's a brilliant start for BLG, particularly Demon, although we'll be late towards this lane in the top side, so we'll have to see what Yuri decides to do with his wave state. But overall, you've now forced this Victor out. No flash on him makes him very vulnerable in this lane as well, because once you get towards level 4 as this Echo, you can really start to abuse the cooldowns that you have. So like your E is on a much shorter cooldown than a lot of Victors. Wave clear, your Q as well is going to be super good at trying to get involved in an open Victor's face. So certainly this is a nice win both for Demon getting that first kill and for CLX and bringing that flash on the Victor.
And I do want to bring up this top lane matchup as well, because actually we've got a hook on the bottom side. Shinmo can't even return the stun, so nice little trade there from the side of CMG. But up in the top side, we mentioned that I'm excited for the Aatrox on Demon, right? Like, it seems like a good pick for him. He's even got first blood. However, this is not a fun matchup for Aatrox. In the laning phase, he's going to have a hard time against Ken.
Yeah, he definitely will. And I mean, you can already see it. He's been bullied off the wave there in top side. I'm going to hold on here because best in the bot side.
Oh no, you poor souls. They're getting dived here at level 1. That's another kill going the way of BLG already. Best 16 grabbing that one for himself. And I have a feeling, Dagda, we may be starting as BLG mean to go on.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good stuff from BLG, though. The collapse in River, getting the kill, and the flash on towards the Victor. Now they're just abusing the fact that they have that power to clear out this bot side jungle of CMG. And then look for the tower dive as well. Like, this is just so well played by BLG and understanding how quickly they can snowball this early game advantage.
And the thing to bear in mind as well is that if you think back to the start of last year, we were hyped on BLG. Coming out of Demacia Cup specifically, coming out of the first 2 weeks of LPL, we were like, hey, BLG is this really smart macro team. Can't wait to see what they can do. They flopped pretty quick. CLX, though, trying to get himself a kill in the mid lane before he gets captured here. Jasmine's on the scene, but he's pulled back and taken out by best 16. Unfortunately, though, CLX is still going to be stuck in this jungle. No lash available for YYC, so maybe CLX can get himself out, or maybe just execute. At this point in the game, an execute is just a fast recall, so
yeah,
I kind of like this.
Yeah, I mean, he manages to get out of there and he's going to be totally fine, so CLX will escape, and it's a nice call from him there. And look, he's able to back, he picks up his Dark Seal, manages to get himself a control ward as well, so he can start to play a little bit more aggressive through this vision control. And I can see he actually has the minion dematerializer there as well. This was something that's kind of a layover from Echo last year, where you needed that minion dematerializer so you could clear the back creeps at level 7. But actually at the current patch, once you get the blasting wand and you get the double amplifying tome, you're able to clear those back creeps at level 7, which helps with those roams. So curious to see how he uses these and if he can try and use these to whack those back creeps out a little bit faster, get the range creeps out of the way, so we can go for roams like this.
Well, I don't know if minion dematerialize is going to be what gets this kill, but they're certainly looking for kills on the bottom side right here. That's 1 kill on the dive already. Make it 2. One of them going the way of Abel as well. There's not a lot more you could ask for there. Super clean dive again from BLG.
Yeah, they are playing this super well, and they just know to play down towards this bot side. A split map with Jasmine playing towards this top side works out really well for Yuri, but he's not really going to be the win condition, and it's not like they're really able to punish Demon either. He's doing a great side of playing on this weak side, even will spot out Jasmine here, but they're just being punished so heavily bot side.
Oh my god, Demon does some damage at this point in the game. He's going to force Jasmine off of the Gromp as well, so protects his jungler's camps. And Demon can just quite happily slide back over towards his lane. So really nicely played here from BLG. They take a ton on the bottom side and they lose basically nothing for it.
And now they've moved best 16 up towards this top side as well, so he'll be able to break the freeze that Kennen has in this top lane and make sure that Demon isn't losing out too much. Now, he is about 15 CS behind right now, but that's not the end of the world with how much the rest of BLG have gained elsewhere.
So, fantastic start here. Now, one thing to bear in mind is ZU in the mid lane, this Victor, has been kind of chilling. He is 20 CS up at this point because, obviously, we did see CLX got executed on the inhib tower at one point, so he was out of lane for a long time there, and then he went for the roam down to dive in the bottom side as well. The fact that CLX only got 1 assist for that means that he is individually falling a little bit behind, so perhaps that could be a win condition for CMG. That hook ain't a win condition though, and that is going to be YYC eradicated from the play, and now more to follow up as well. Jasmine will find 1 kill for himself, but he's stuck. No, flashes over the wall and gets himself to safety. Demon follows him. He thought he had the kill, I think, but didn't quite finish it. Well, that one off. Black goes down as well. And now on to ZU, the Victor I was talking about. He may have a CS lead, but he's not winning this 1v1 right now. Stun will come on through, but it's a flash away from Z.
Yeah, Victor isn't allowed to have flash for very long in this game. Instantly blows out to get out of there. Demon, unfortunately, able to not finish off the kill, but still it's a BLG victory. They're getting kills, they're getting a huge amount of gold input into their back pockets, and I mean, look, we're 7 minutes into the game, it's a 2,500 gold lead, about to make it 3 off of these turret plates. Like, this is exactly what I talked about at the start of the game. The ability of LPL teams to take these compositions that are going to be able to thrive off of a mid-game spike and just run away with it. Because as we said, CMG, they have so much scaling in their composition that they just can't fight against BLG right now.
And I mean, we talked about CS leads as well. Just look at what's happened in the bottom side, because every single time there's a huge wave that's crashing under this tower, CMG get dive. So there's no opportunity for Black 8 to actually farm up. He's 20 CS down. But when you look at levels as well, he's a full level down Abel. That is a massive deficit for the side of CMG.
Yeah, and there's just very little that you can do in this situation. You've 2 very vulnerable carries in both lanes that once that flash is burnt, they're just sitting ducks. And BLG have decided that the duck that they want to shoot is going to be Black 8 in that bot lane, but they can very easily turn that attention towards mid as well. When you've got the ultimate from the Echo up, he can start off the dive, you can have Talia come in. It's a pretty easy stun setup for CLX as well. So this is where you just end up in a situation in CMG that Jasmine needs to try and cover all bases, but unfortunately, as you can see, this split map hasn't worked out very well. From his best 16 is coming out on top.
Yeah, best 16 looking fantastic. He had a little stint in the LPL last year as well, and he looked pretty good there. So I'm excited to see him doing well here in Demacia Cup. I'm interested to see as well, Demon has a serrated Dirk right now, which, I mean, I could be wrong. The items are new, but I don't think that builds into a gore drink.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, you've got the whip and you've got a few other things that are in there, but it's definitely not a serrated Dirk that's a part of that. So maybe going towards something like the Eclipse instead, but I'd be very surprised. I mean, Gore Drinker is just so strong, but I suppose in a situation like this where you're looking at pretty much everyone in CMG is ranged, trying to find that good Gore Drinker where you can get a bunch of health back probably isn't going to happen. So maybe just cutting his losses, saying, look, Eclipse still gives me the lifesteal that I want, gives me a little bit more of that assassination attempt when I go into these fights, just with the lethality. So maybe that's the best call here.
Shinmo's found himself in a 2v1, 3v1 for now, but the rest of the squad is on the way straight onto the victor. They go. Abel slides into the back of the fight as well, and now Jasmine left with nowhere to run. My stream froze for a second there, but we're back, and he's got the kill. Jasmine falls. It's Shinmo with the ignite to grab it in the end. And suddenly, we've got an Aphelios 1v3, and you know what? This ain't Season 10. He goes down.
But I don't even know why CMG are fighting there. Like, you're so much go behind. There's no objectives in the river, and you end up fighting against them. Like, this is just getting yourselves into a deeper and deeper hole. BLG now, 5 kills on Talia. You've got 2 kills on towards this Kaisa as well. Flashy again burned onto some of these crucial members. Like, it's just ridiculous how quickly BLG are snowballing this.
And you cut Yuri up at the top lane, just head in his hands, not like this. He's winning lane individually and just watching the map fall apart.
He's not winning anymore. Once that split map fell apart, well, Demon has popped back up. Yeah, I know, and a kill behind. So overall, I think you've got a pretty even top lane matchup going through as well. So this is where I just don't understand why they're trying to control this river space. Yes, you've got the Scuttle Crab that's coming up in a few moments, but it's not worth risking your lives for it when you're this far behind. You've got to cede some of this control, and CMG decide that that's where they want to fight, and that's the hill that they die on.
Well, die they certainly did. That is for sure. So we'll see what CMG have left in the tank at this point, but it's already rapidly spiraling out of control from them. It's 4,000 gold lead now in favor of BLG. 10 kills, that's 1 per minute on the side of BLG as well. One thing that is a slight silver lining for CMG is the fact that BLG did not start the Drake very early in this game, so they'll be slightly behind timing. I mean, what do I even say there? Like, he just stopped existing for a second. I guess best 16's kind of fed, right? 14
just
stacks
a wee
for
bit.
franchise. He's looking for a few more stacks, actually.
Yeah.
Let's make that
there
18.
Yeah. I mean, things are going well when you can have an 18 stack Magi's before you finish that Luden's Tempest, right? I mean, I'll be pretty happy with that as any mage, but yeah, this is just going to go from bad to worse. I mean, the second you do finish that second item here on Best, you've already got the Kraken Slayer completed for Kaisa. Rocket Belt about to come in for the Echo as well, which just transforms him into a new champion. Like, he's so much stronger with this item. You're only going from bad to worse here at CMG, and it's a long time before you guys come online. You need 2 to 3 items for this Victor. Same when you look towards this Aphelios. Yes, you've got the Yuri in that top lane who looks like he's going for the Riftmaker, so he's a little bit tankier, but he still needs like Riftmaker, Demonic Embrace, that combo before he can be very useful, so it's just all a bit messy.
Yeah, it's a bit of, I'm not going to lie, it does feel a little bit like we're watching a solo queue game. The way that this is snowballing out of control and the way that CMG are kind of just running face first into it time and time again. Drake's coming up in a second here. I want a prediction from you, Dagda. Will CMG be foolish enough to fight for this Drake? Demon is almost solo killed, by the way, while I'm talking. I was not expecting that to turn into ults coming out in a big fight.
I want to say no, but they're posturing pretty aggressively onto CLX here, and I wasn't sure if that was going to bring about some chaos, but they will end up giving it across. The more curious thing for me here is actually the build path coming through from Jasmine. Like, you've got, I don't mind, like, if you want to go for the lethality build, Eclipse is such a strong item on him, on this Graves, or even the Gale Force, but I'm going to hold on to this as Demon's cut out.
Yeah, oh, the flash forward from Demon,
oh my
that is
God.
Beautiful. And Abel, even though he ulted in, actually doesn't even get an assist. It was too late to the party. Demon wanted the solo kill.
I mean, that's just beautiful from Demon, and look, I mean, it's working out overall just for BLG across the map. It's just, this entire game has gone out of control for CMG. It's 7,000 gold at 13 minutes. Like, you're basically at a 500 gold increase on average, like, per minute. Like, this is just insane.
The hilarious thing to me is that Abel has just been playing support, essentially, at this point. He's got 5 assists, but the amount of turret plates this guy has soaked up this game, he already got all 5 in the bottom lane. He's just got himself another 2 on the top side right here. For some reason, Jasmine thinks he can 1v1 this. You can't win that one right now, my friend. I don't know. Why are we fighting? What is happening? CMG, run!
But this is the thing. I don't even understand what objective we're fighting over. Like, if there was a Rift Herald there, I'd be like, okay, well, you shouldn't have fought for the Rift Herald, but at least there's the Rift Herald. This, if you're trying to hold on to the turret, well, then get underneath the turret. Like, all these plays that are coming through are just weird mistakes from CMG where they're just getting caught out in places that they shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is the nature of Demacia Cup, right? We do have... This is a full LPL professional team from BLG against CMG, which is a much lower tier team. So you have to expect this kind of disparity between the teams.
And I feel a bit bad for CMG because of all the groups to get placed into. Group D is not the nice one. Like, WE, RNG, IG are all in this group as well. BLG, obviously, is just like, wait, we actually essentially got the LPL group.
Yeah, this is pretty much a full LPL group, and I will say, this group has been a little disappointing to me in terms of quality of play across the course of today. I expected this to be, like, super top tier. I feel like some of the teams yesterday actually showed a little bit more. And I'm really curious what, like, the V5 Young Miracles group ends up shaping up like as well, because that was looking to be pretty exciting based on some of the results earlier today. So I definitely think going into the tournament, I was looking at this group as like, holy moly, this is the group of death. But now we've watched half of it, I'm not so sure that's the case anymore.
Cool. Abel? I was waiting. I was like, that killer instinct is up. How aggressive do you want to go here? But decides not to try and follow that up. Either way, but as you can see, BLG have just opted in towards this 1-3-1. They're perfectly happy to just start playing out through these side lanes, especially as Echo now is going to be comfortably able to solo out this Victor if he gets the chance, even has the level advantage here as well. On the bot side, we've already seen what Demon can do when he gets on top of Kennen. Clip's just finished for him as well, so he's hit a pretty nice power spike for himself. So this is just overall BLG now looking to just pretty swiftly close out this game.
I have to say as well, this Taliyah jungle has been the terror of the tournament. I know we've talked a bit about Taliyah jungle already, but it's not just how prevalent it's been in the pick and ban. It's how regularly we're seeing players like Best 16 in this game just run out of control with this Taliyah, pick up a Medjai's and just snowball like absolute crazy across the course of the game. Now they get to drop a Herald mid as well. Realistically, there's no defense here from CMG available.
Yeah, and I think the reason that we're seeing Taliyah working out so well is just because we're seeing her often paired with champions that can set her up so well. Like, all you need is some sort of CC, and then you can just get that flick very easily. It's a whole heap of burst damage, but we have to engage here.
Jasmine's behind the team here. YYC does go down to the Ignite. Best 16 managing to flash away as Shinmo will fall. Nice ulti coming out from Yuri. In goes Demon, though. In the meantime, Weaver's Wall to cut the team off. The re-engage from BLG, and Demon is a big, scary Demon at this point. Jasmine has to flash away. Demon gets a bit alive still, though. Keeps himself alive. Dodges away from the Q, and it means that CLX can clean up Black 8 after the fight.
You know that Black 8 is screaming worth it in all chat, though, where he's just like, I'm flashing forward. I'm getting this kill. I'm getting something for myself. Does cost him his life. I know BLG can still continue this push. They're backing off two members over towards Dragon. So overall, they're still just waiting here to see what they can pick up across the map. But CMG, yeah, this is just kind of gone from bad to worse. You do have like 3 kills onto Jasmine, but there's very little that he can actually do to carry this game.
I do think it's an interesting topic to bring up, and this is not necessarily the most important topic, but
I mean, we got time.
You mentioned Ophelia saying worth on this play. He actually reset his gold value. So maybe it's not worth at all. Because he was worth like 100 gold before this play. Yeah. Now he's worth 300 again. I
think, to be fair, the increase in gold isn't going to massively amount to very much when you're looking at how far ahead BLG are. I think at this time for CMG, it's about the little victories. But I think the biggest thing for CMG is, like, it does give a view to the players of, like, just how more there is to learn. And I think that's the really interesting thing about seeing, like, the HMGs and CMGs and all those kind of teams coming into this tournament is you can see the difference that, like, for HMG and even CMG, who have won tournaments at kind of the local level. Obviously HMG coming from the collegiate side of things, where they even won the Collegiate World Championship, but you just see that massive step up between the two, where even when you get to these mid-tier or even lower tier LPL teams, there's just such a massive difference between the two.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong at all. Demon is getting chased down here, but might actually be able to stay this around. I don't doubt it for a second. Jasmine going to follow him over the wall here. It's kind of out of cooldowns. Oh, nice flash to dodge the collateral damage. Jasmine should be able to get the dash over. Demon is desperately trying to escape. By the way, his team is just taking the base. They're not coming to help Demon.
Yeah.
They're not interested in the top lane right now. Well, they are. It's just the inhib instead of the player.
I'm curious what happens in those comps. It's like, guys, can we help? Can we come? And it's just like, no, you've dug your own graves here. We're
you
doing
picked this battle.
Yeah.
But he got out, by the way. He's fine.
He gets out. They get the tower. And they get the inhibitor. Like, this is just BLG dominating this game from start to finish. And you can see nice Weaver's wall to start this off, where they cut off the try to cut off a few members, but able to go in, burst them down. CLX is just tanking up the turret, knows that he's able to reset with that ultimate. Like, they are just bullying CMG in their own base right now.
There was a lot of Ables in that sentence, but just look at the scoreline from CMG. We've got the top side. If you just put your hand on the screen where Victor is and below on the scoreboard, everything looks fine. You got 1-2-1. You know, it's not ideal, but it's not the worst. 3-1-1 on the Graves, feeling pretty good. Oh, wait a second. 0-5, 1-6, 0-5. That ain't a pretty bot side of the map. It's because they've just been regularly tower dived over and over and over again. Baron now in the pocket of BLG. And I think that should be all that's required for them to just close this out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they're going to try and hold on to get the double Mages at 25 stacks. CLX has his at 12. He's a little bit further behind to Best, who's already fully stacked his book out. But
I have to say, CLX has had quite a quiet game, considering how action-packed and brutal this game has been. CLX has pretty much been snoozing for a lot of it. As an Echo, you're often just put on the side lane duty, so he's been kind of farming up a storm, not really able to stack up quite in the way that Best 16 was.
No, I mean, look, as an Echo, your big power spike comes in off of that rocket belt, so you need to wait a little bit of time. Like, you usually finish that between the 12 to 15 minute mark, so it takes a little bit of time to get that on. Yeah, I mean, we're 21 minutes in and it's pretty much done.
Oh my god. See you later, YYC. He's out of there. That's a home run if ever I saw one. And Weaver's Wall comes through. All it does is nothing. So unlucky Best 16 there, but that's going to be 3 inhibs. With the Baron, you have to assume they can close this one out. Maybe Yuri can get some kind of miracle ult and save the game from CMG. We'll have to wait and see. In they go, though. Jasmine, taken to 1 HP, walks away, gets onto the fountain for himself. Blackgate gets out from the Umbral Chains. But with supers flooding in from the top side and Baroned up ones at that, this is going to be the end of this one. YYC goes in, gets himself yet another death. 0-7 now as a double kill comes through for Abel. And that one is going to be that, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I mean, look, BLG looking out for yesterday, going, do you know what? It all came down towards that time. We need to have a pretty short game in our hands. So 22 minutes, essentially.
True about it.
Realistically, they got pretty much great matchups across the board. I mean, the top lane matchup is a little bit questionable, but Demon played it incredibly well. It was nice to see how well he could play that weak side. Just making sure that when they split the map, Jasmine wasn't able to get any kills. They weren't able to get Yuri snowballing. I see it.